Conflict may have been centered in a small republic. Its impact has been felt worldwide. And as Marie Dunaiv reports now, the consequences could be felt for many years to come.
The weapons may be silent, but the words just keep on exploding. U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates has accused Russia of trying to punish Georgia for integrating with the West.
I think that the Russians are already facing consequences from the nature of what they've done in Georgia, this punitive mission that they launched. And I think the first is what I said earlier. I think that all the nations of Europe, regardless of their, and on the periphery of Russia, regardless of what their public statements are looking at Russia through a different set of lenses.
This sentiment was echoed by the U.S. representative to NATO, who said he didn't rule out disbanding the Russia-NATO Council. Kurt Walker said the alliance was highly concerned over Russia's actions in Georgia and that Russia had made a mistake. But it seems not all member states share this point of view. Germany and Italy said they don't want to see a deterioration of relations with Russia, and the Slovakian Prime Minister said it was clear to him who the aggressor in the conflict was, while the Vice Speaker of Parliament said Georgia had tried to start a genocide. And despite criticism the ceasefire in place is unstable, the French President said that peace is now in the hands of Georgia.
You are telling me the ceasefire on the ground is fragile. We know it. But I prefer, if you ask me, the question of a fragile ceasefire than a war that would go on. One doesn't stop things like that. On the ground, it is improving. If Mr. Saakashvili signs these documents that we have negotiated with Mr. Medvedev, then the withdrawal of the Russian troops can start.
Something Russia may not entirely agree with.
We are closely monitoring the balance of power in the region. We know that Georgia is accumulating troops near Tbilisi, including personnel and equipment that arrived from Iraq, and we keep an eye on that as well. It is vital now to maintain a force there that will be able to carry out peacekeeping functions in case of a sudden escalation. The situation has entered a purely political phase, but the military have a clear-cut objective of maintaining peace in the region. We are peacekeepers in the same area and with the same scope of responsibilities.
But on the U.S.-Russia front, everything's a lot more black and white. Washington has said it will ignore Russia's intention to support the breakaway republics in their quest for independence.
The United States of America stands strongly, and the President of France has just said, for the territorial integrity of Georgia. This is a member state of the United Nations whose internationally recognized boundaries have to be respected. There will be a process for dealing with what has been a difficult conflict in South Ossetia and in Abkhazia. But it proceeds, of course, from UN Security Council resolutions that are already there. And so there shouldn't be any question about the territorial integrity of Georgia.
Meanwhile, after talks in Moscow, the Turkish Prime Minister came to Tbilisi in an attempt to help resolve the stalemate. But despite support from some NATO members, Saakashvili is facing more and more criticism from within his own country. Former Georgian President Eduard Shevardnadze, whose government was overthrown by Saakashvili's Rose Revolution, says Saakashvili had made a mistake by starting the violence. In an interview with an Italian newspaper, the former president said a strong motive is not enough for such actions, and that history will judge everyone. Maria Dunaiva, RT.